Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. NFL Insider explains Steelers' surprising QB decision in latest mock draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers need to find their quarterback of the future. Pittsburgh is flirting with the idea of adding Aaron Rodgers as a bridge quarterback for the 2025 season. One NFL insider believes the Steelers could make a shocking selection during the 2025 NFL Draft to find their next franchise quarterback. ESPN's Field Yates spoke about Pittsburgh's surprising QB decision in his latest 2025 NFL mock draft during a recent interview. Field Yates, Aaron Rodgers is still a free agent. Yes, he is certainly more likely to land with the Pittsburgh Steelers than any other NFL team, but until the ink is dry, I am not saying this is a certainty. On top of that, Aaron Rodgers will be 42 at the end of the season, Yates said, via First Draft on ESPN. I don't need to ask you whether you think Aaron Rodgers is still this peak NFL quarterback. The answer is clearly not. He is a solid starter for Pittsburgh. You have to have an eye towards the future. Jackson Dart gives you an eye towards the future. Yates made it clear that Pittsburgh should draft a quarterback in the draft even if they manage to sign QB Aaron Rodgers. The problem for Pittsburgh is that the 2025 draft class is thin at the quarterback position. Cam Ward is the only consensus first-round quarterback, with opinion mixed on Shedeur Sanders as the next best option. There is a steep drop in talent from Sanders to a player like Dart. As a result, it is a stretch to assume that Pittsburgh will want to use their first-round pick on a questionable quarterback. It is also worth noting that Pittsburgh may not want to make the same mistake they made with Kenny Pickett back in 2022. The NFL may take full advantage of Pittsburgh if they do sign QB Aaron Rodgers. One NFL executive believes the NFL may choose the Steelers for Hard Knocks if they end up landing Rodgers. Rodgers with Pickens and DK, if it's not Hard Knocks, it had better be, an exec said, via Mike Sando of The Athletic. I can't think of a worse combination for all this to play out. The NFL recently adjusted the rules for Hard Knocks eligibility, which makes it a remote possibility that this executive is on to something. Under the old rules, Pittsburgh would be exempt from Hard Knocks because of their playoff berth during the 2024 season. It is hard to argue that the Steelers would make excellent television on Hard Knocks. Depot after dark, Steelers-Dortmund partnership, former Steelers WR with Bears, Foster joins broadcast team. A Steelers Depot daily segment. A quick hit of some Pittsburgh Steelers-related stories that may not require a complete article but nuggets worth mentioning and passing on to you guys. Your Depot after dark for April 3rd. The Steelers are one of the NFL's most popular franchises. It isn't hard to see Steelers fans take over opposing stadiums. However, this year, they'll be able to show that overseas. The Steelers are slated to play the NFL's first regular season game in Ireland. It looks like they're trying other things to expand their fandom overseas, too. On their Twitter, the Steelers announced that they're partnering with Bundesliga's Borussia Dortmund, a German professional soccer team. It seems like this partnership is aimed at expanding both teams' reach in each other's markets. For Steelers fans unfamiliar with Dortmund, and Dortmund fans unfamiliar with the Steelers, this could be a nice opportunity to develop a new fandom. Miles Boykin was a wide receiver with the Steelers in 2022 and 2023. While he wasn't a huge factor on offense, he was a valuable special teams player. Unfortunately, he didn't stick with the Steelers after the 2023 season. He spent 2024 with the New York Giants and the Seattle Seahawks. Now, it looks like he's on to his next team. The Chicago Bears announced on their Twitter that they've signed Boykin to a one-year contract. Although he didn't have a huge impact with either of his teams in 2024, he'll be looking to change that with the Bears. Boykin probably won't get a ton of action on offense, but he should boost their special teams. The Steelers are scheduled to play the Bears, so we'll see if Boykin gets on the field for that game. During the 2010s, the Steelers were mostly known more for their offense than their defense. While the spotlight was usually on players like Ben Roethlisberger and Antonio Brown, the Steelers' offensive line was just as important. Ramon Foster was one of the key pieces of that group, playing for the Steelers from 2009 to 2019. Now, he's taking up a different venture. Before his NFL career began, Foster attended the University of Tennessee. Going forward, it looks like Foster will be involved with the university again. Tennessee football announced on Twitter that Foster will be joining their broadcast team. According to the school, Foster will serve as an analyst for the team. It's an exciting new chapter of Foster's football life, giving back to his alma mater. The Pittsburgh Steelers made a big move this offseason to trade for DK Metcalf from the Seattle Seahawks and extend him for $30 million a year, and with Aaron Rodgers seemingly likely to join the team, executives around the league have plenty to say about the Steelers' outlook for 2025. Rodgers with Pickens and DK, if it's not Hard Knocks, it had better be, an exec said, via Mike Sando of The Athletic. I can't think of a worse combination for all this to play out. It certainly will be a group that has plenty of personality, that's for sure, especially if George Pickens is still on the roster for 2025. Another executive did not agree with the move for Metcalf, saying it was significant draft capital, but the contract was too much as well. In what world do you look at DK and go, let's give that guy $30 million a year and trade a 2 for him? The exec asked, via Sando. That struck me as, you are in on Brandon Ayuk, you've been in on all these guys, you have not gotten them, and you finally found one. Maybe Tomlin brings out the best in him. I could see elements of why they like it. Pairing him with Rodgers seems odd. Another executive weighed in, saying the Steelers have earned the benefit of the doubt somewhat due to their track record with wide receivers, but there is still some skepticism. Anytime Pittsburgh brings in a receiver, I'm tending to say, okay, they have gotten it right more times than not, so they probably know something I do not know, another exec said, via Sando. But I question the mix. Are we seeing the first signs of Pittsburgh panic? When it comes to the quarterback situation, another executive said that the Steelers usually just found a way to make it through a year before Ben Roethlisberger was drafted, and this might be a return to that norm with Rodgers seeming likely. Before Ben Roethlisberger, they always kind of just found a quarterback, an exec said, via Sando. They grouped together some talented guys, they had their own play style, their own culture, and it just kind of worked most of the time. Are they back to that? Is that what we are seeing now? There is a wide range of opinions on the Steelers' offseason, so it will be interesting to see how it plays out. Pittsburgh Steelers would only select this high-pedigree quarterback, insider says. There is only one quarterback the Pittsburgh Steelers would take in the first round of the 2025 NFL Draft, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter. Schefter does not believe the Steelers will end up taking a quarterback, but if they did, it would only be Colorado's Shedeur Sanders. I was of the mind that Pittsburgh was not taking a quarterback in round 1, Schefter said. I think the only quarterback that they would consider, me reading between the lines, would be Shedeur. But I can't imagine he's gonna slide to 21. Would Pittsburgh be willing to trade up to a certain point to go get Shedeur Sanders, if he gets past those other spots? Sanders' stock had continued to rise since he transferred to Colorado 2 years ago, but has experienced a bit of a pitfall in recent months. The son of Deion Sanders, Shedeur has a lot of talent and could go anywhere from second overall to the late 20s. That means the Steelers could have a sneaky chance to land Sanders if they like him enough. Given no link to him yet from the Steelers, a team notoriously fine with making their draft plans obvious, a move like that seems unlikely to occur. And you, fan? What do you think about Shedeur Sanders' situation? Write to us in the comments.